Okay, Mr. Shubhrajyoti, congratulations
Thank you.
for the lovely work in
Thank
the
you.
film Article 15, which prompted me to come to you for this interview. Because I think you all are the real stars of Article 15.
Oh my God.
What a wonderful ensemble cast, and you all did so well. Wonderful performances.
I guess I can speak for all the other actors also safely that I think everybody is very proud to be associated with a film like this as actors also. For example, जब script मुझे मिली पहली बार, so it was like I got the script when I went to Anubhav sir's office, spoke to him, chatted with him, and then I got the script. I read the script after coming home and I sent a message to his associate that beautiful script, I am on. So there was no, I didn't at that point of time think that what role, because the script was so good that any role out of all the roles in the movie, I would have loved to do. So whatever he thought that I could do in that, I did. But yeah, the script was such a powerful script, and we have spoken amongst actors, and it is similar for most of the actors. जैसे ज़ीशान है, ज़ीशान आयु, उनके लिए भी ऐसा था. उन्होंने स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ी, उन्होंने कहा कि मैं कर रहा हूँ सर. Because the script is such. So I guess the script is the hero of this movie, and also Anubhav sir's leadership qualities. Apart from his undoubted talent and creativity and everything, all that is there. But what is very important, I'm not very experienced in the whole filmmaking, the business of cinema, because I've been actively doing work since the last 2 years. I was doing theatre before that. So for me, so filmmaking, as you would know and as most of the makers would know, it involves a very diverse group of people, and it's sort of divided and subdivided into so many departments which need to sort of work together. And so a leader who's cohesive in nature, who can sort of becomes that binding force apart from being a leader, and he's a leader ever without being dictatorial, which is, I think, is a brilliant quality to have, because I am acting in your movie and you're paying me money for that, and so it's very easy, and you're the director of the movie. If tomorrow you say ki you do this, I'll do that because I'm getting paid for doing that.
Yeah.
So that could be the most easy approach that you can have. But I think with Anubhav sir, I realized that without ever relinquishing your leadership position, you can also be democratic, which is, I think, is a brilliant quality that he has. We would every night chat about the scenes that are going to be shot the next day. In that process, it would also mean that there were actors sitting there, including me, who were not there in the scene, which is going to be shot. And but if I come up with a suggestion, then I would suggest it, and nobody was made to feel that why are you, because everybody was so much part of the film. Everybody,
That shows.
yeah. So everybody had a very, very strong sense of ownership, which I think has reflected in the work a little bit. And we are very fortunate to be, at least I am very fortunate to be, to be attached to this film.
I think it's a very good and important film.
Yeah.
Very
Even
important
I think so.
subject.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you didn't know earlier when you were reading the script which role are you going to do?
Well, they had spoken to me about a couple of roles actually.
Okay.
But and this was one of the roles that was spoken to me about. And after reading the script, I thought it's great. I mean, if they had spoken about some other role also, then also मतलब कि लड़की का बाप बच जाओ, हाँ, जिस बच्ची जो गायब हुई है, अगर वो भी कहता तो मैं शायद वो भी कर लेता, क्योंकि the film is such a powerful movie. I think even the actors who have done smallest of the roles have got noticed. और एक्टरों का काम तभी खिल के बाहर आ सकता है जब मेरे ख्याल से when the movie is made well, you know, तो मुश्किल है because of the nature of the medium. So I think that from that point of view, it's a very well made movie. It's a brilliant script, and that is
such an important subject.
Very important subject.
So relevant even today.
Yes. And within say mainstream Hindi film framework, there have been movies, and there have been it's been a wonderful conversation starter. As you might have realized, online there have been so many articles written on Article 15. There have been so many, apart from the reviews, I'm talking about there are people who are writing about it. Some are pointing to some things which they think should have been included and not has been. Some people have talked about the gaze of the movie, from what point of view the movie, the script has been written, and from what point of view we are watching the film. And we are very fortunate that most of the people have immensely liked the film, and most of the this thing has been. But there have been some people who have a certain amount of reservation about certain things, or they have suggested that these things could have been better explored or done better according to their point of view, which I think is fair enough, you know, because I think most importantly, because of the kind of subject, as you're saying, that it's an important subject, this movie has proved to be a huge conversation starter. So we can take it from here and we can go ahead, you know. So yeah.
We're tired of love stories, so you know, at least what is so important for our country. This is a really patriotic film in a sense, not a like a jingoistic and fake nationalistic film. It's really a you can say quote unquote patriotic film.
Absolutely. In today's world, suddenly patriotism and nationalism have become interchangeable words, which they are not. They are two completely different concepts.
Right.
And I think any issue which sort of vibrates within you, which sort of rings a bell in your mind, because we are product of the society, and whatever is happening within the society, if that rings a bell in me, then I try to tell it through poems or a movie or through a play or through music, then of course it is patriotic then, no? Because we are talking about our society, हमारे माशरे की बात हो रही है, समाज की बात हो रही है.
And it has been done, so it is not like a preachy film.
No.
It has been done with wry humor, and it's almost very satirical.
Yes.
Couple of scenes they are funny, like a black comedy.
Yeah.
Yet it conveys the message so beautifully.
Yes.
That was the beauty of the film. It was not preachy at all.
No. I think therein lies the brilliance of the script, you know, and the brilliance of writing of both these people, Gaurav Solanki and Anubhav sir. Both of them together have written the screenplay dialogues of the film.
And they've given you the best lines. You have the best lines in the film.
Yeah, some of the I'm very fortunate to get a few, so as to say, punchlines of the movie. Yeah, it's been very gratifying that way also. Actor को और चाहिए क्या?
And one was if you can elaborate, while you are driving, you say माँ कहती थी कि व्यवस्था के लिए कोई राजा होना चाहिए, कोई प्रजा होना चाहिए. Isn't it? What is the full dialogue?
So basically this character was conceived as kind of a sarathi. That is why at one point of time he says also कि किशन जी वाला काम है ना, sir, driving. So he's kind of a sarathi who talks about his mother and these all anecdotes and stories that or moral ideas that his mother used to tell him. My suspicion is Chandrabhan is a character who would theorize himself also and propagate it in the name of his mother. You know, because he is also has had a certain amount of life experience, and it becomes easier when you are, say, driving an IPS officer in your car and you are just a driver. Then it becomes easier if you say that somebody else has said this and not me. So I don't own what I am saying it, but this is what I want to communicate to you. So he takes my's name a lot. So yeah, so it's a sort of a, I wouldn't say warning, but it was, I think Chandrabhan was trying to say what Brahmadatta said just before, that Santulan mat bigadiye sir. Chandrabhan of course has a more positive way of seeing that. माई कहा करती थी कि राजा होता है, प्रजा होती है, सेवक होता है, दास होता है, बंधक होता है सर. इन सब का बड़ा एक संतुलन है, ब्रह्मा जी ने बनाया संस्कृत में. हमें कोई अधिकार नहीं है हम इस संतुलन को बिगाड़े. और सर सभी बराबर हो जाएंगे तो राजा कौन बनेगा सर. सो द पॉइंट इज दैट आई गेस Chandrabhan was in effect saying the same thing which Brahmadatta was trying to say, but Brahmadatta was saying that he was coming from a point of view of his character, at the risk of giving out spoilers. I don't want to give out spoilers because I think there are other people who should go and watch the movie. But Brahmadatta was coming from a selfish place because there was a conflict of interest as far as he was concerned. And Chandrabhan was coming from a much more selfless place. He was trying to warn this person that these are the norms that have come to be accepted in this society. So why are you trying to rock the boat too much? It might harm you, not as much. So he was trying to. So he is basically a very positive character.
But then later on in the film, which is I think the best line of the film, when Ayushmann Khurrana is going into the muck, his upper caste man is going down and he asks you कि इसके बारे में आपकी माँ क्या कहती थी. So then you say माँ का तो पता नहीं, but TV कहता है कि दाग अच्छे हैं. So that line in the audience was clapping, and if you think about it deeply, it will give you goosebumps because in that context,
at that point of time,
use that line दाग अच्छे हैं, I think that was
out of my lines of the yes. Even I don't think it's not so much of a claptrap or so much of, but I think one line that I was very fortunate to have is after the death of the bodyguard, the suicide, when he says that we hear these stories of all this kind of atrocities and think that they are happening far away from us, but nothing is too far away because this guy used to sit beside me for the last. So I think those are, and I'm again very fortunate to have got those lines in the context of this brilliant movie that Anubhav sir has made. So,
and you've said them so well. That is also very important. You can give an actor any line, but if it's not performed well,
I think
you're a very good actor, and that comes
thanks.
Even
thanks.
in
I will take it.
Small, quote unquote, small part and supporting part. It comes across. And it's a powerful portrayal. And
no, thank you so much.
So Daag Achhe Hai is like your character is also transformed.
Of course.
Because earlier you were reinforcing the concept, and here you are going with the flow, and you are saying no, let's do it, kind of a thing.
Because whatever has happened over the course of the movie, in terms of the incidents that have happened, that has affected everybody, all the characters in the movie. So it's only natural that even Chandrabhan will get affected by all those things. He has driven an IPS officer before this man has come to this village also. But he must have also not ever seen anything. That is why he is so reconciled with the realities of that space. But when this person comes and sort of churns everything, then he also gets affected by it. So
Daag Achhe Hai. Any special preparation for this role?
I just spoke to some cops and tried to speak to ones who are like wireless van drivers. It's easy to speak to them also, so because they are much more accessible. If I wanted to speak to, say, an IPS officer, then I would have had to take appointments and stuff like that. But if I walk into Dindoshi police station, near which I stay, then it is easy to introduce myself and just go up to somebody and start speaking. Of course, they would be Maharashtrian cops in Bombay, but language or the culture of UP was never a problem because I have grown up in Banaras, so I know that world more or less. Important was the mindset, because although cops are viewed separately, I think ये अंग्रेजों के ज़माने से हमारे देश में चल रहा है. Cops are people you get intimidated by or you avoid. That is the whole mindset generally of people. Cops mean it's trouble and all that, but the people who are doing that job are also that much product of the society, and their mindsets are also governed by the same things that govern our society. And I believe that there are departments within the police department which are also not so they don't have to deal with the public on a daily basis, on their job. For example, the driver, like Chandrabhan, the character that I play in the movie, he doesn't have to deal with the public per se, just be within that world of cops and driving his boss to somewhere, and that's all. Chandrabhan speaks a lot. I think one reason for that is that he what else can he do? He's basically a powerless guy. That is why at one point of time he says that Rajputon wala kaam to koi kiya nahi sir. Because he can't really do anything. So he talks. He drives and he talks. It was slightly important, I guess, to understand that psyche when you are driving and you don't really have duty hours. As a cop would be called and asked to be ready at any point of time also. So but that is life. So yeah, preparation wise, I've spoken to a few cops. It helps to have known that cultural milieu very closely by virtue of growing up in Varanasi. So yeah, I think combination of all those things and a little bit of experience.
Yeah. So even for a supporting character, you did your research, you met people.
Yeah, I guess
that shows in the film.
I guess it's slightly important to do that, especially for the supporting characters. The reason being,
for everybody.
Yeah, of course, for everybody, but we come from a filmmaking tradition where all these things are new things. They have existed for hundreds of years now, right from the time when realistic acting and naturalistic acting came into vogue. Right from that time, I think these things have existed. But somehow or the other, these are new concepts in our movie.
Cinema.
Yeah. But if you look at it even from a completely commercial, practical point of view, what is going to get me work is the quality of work that I produce. I am nobody's son or nephew or, to get work, regardless. So my only USP is that how prepared I am and how much I am able to showcase through whatever little that I get. So I guess it is very important to do a certain amount of preparation. You have to be well prepared.
Have you had any formal training?
No. I have done theatre for a very long time. But I have never been to a drama school or an acting institute. I have never been there. I joined Nadira Zahir Babba's group, Ekjut Theatre Group, in '93.
93.
Yeah, and I worked with that group regularly till 2007, if I remember correctly. So about 14 years in that group.
No.
In between, I have worked with Chetan Datar. I was very fortunate to have worked with a very good theatre playwright director, very promising, passed away prematurely, unfortunately. But I think I'm very fortunate to have worked with him also. And Nadaraji's group has been a very big group, and there were a lot of very talented seniors. Nagaraji herself was there. And also at that point of time, I was doing my engineering, which I had no interest in. So what I used to do is, somebody had told me about NCPA library, which is basically a reading room from where you were not allowed to bring books home. So every day, instead of going to college, I would in the morning go to NCPA library, sit down and read about theatre. And I would read anything that I could lay my hands on. So it was theatre theory, theatre history, theatre architecture, theatre philosophy, plays. There's a wonderful collection of music, so I would listen to music, read about music theory. So anything that I could lay my hands on, I would read. And then in the evenings, I would go for the rehearsals at Nagar. And Ekjut Theatre Group at that point of time, also, since I was very young at that point of time, a great place to try out things. There was complete independence of trying things out, and you were allowed to fail. I think for youngsters today, that space is becoming less and less, where they are allowed to fail, So we were allowed to. We could go, I could pick up a dholak and try playing and fail at that, or I could sit down with everybody and start singing, and I could be out of tune. But nobody stopped you from doing anything. So it became a very good akhada for trying out things that I was reading in NCPA library, And sometimes it was wonderful, sometimes I would fail. So it was great. And I kept on doing theatre. Then also what happens is, since right at the peak of your youth, you are in a theatre group, then all your friends, you make lifelong friends there, So, and you lose touch with friends who have sort of branched out. For example, my college friend, who I was very thick with, but then they went into textiles and I remained in theatre. So as is the norm in Bombay, you have friends in your own profession, right? You don't really have friends in other professions. Yeah, so
you worked with other theatre directors also.
Yes, post 2007, when I started working freelancing a little bit and not be attached to any one group alone. So I worked with Sunil Shanbag. Again, very excited, very fortunate to have worked with him, and it became a working relationship. I've worked with him on multiple plays. I hope to work with him again. Aquarius, of course. Akash is a dear friend. I've worked with him. Manav at that point of time was regularly writing new plays, and I sort of worked with him.
Which one you did with Manav?
I did Park first with him. Then I recently, about 3 years back, we did his Peele Scooter Wala Aadmi. He sort of revived the play, and I acted in it. So Manav also then became a friend, and he's been.
You had many prestigious productions.
Because also I can safely say yes to that, because of the fact that I was always available. I was not one of those actors who was aspiring to be something else and doing theatre just because he was not getting work there. I think
you never ran after Bollywood.
No, I never had any Bollywood aspiration. I always thought that I will do theatre through my life, and everybody would look at me and give me a knowing smile, saying कि करते रहो बेटा, कब तक करोगे? हमने भी ऐसे ही सोचा था.
Pay you well?
No, it does not. So I used to do odd jobs. I did a lot of other things. I have assembled computers for people. I have ghost-written television serials for a very reputed production house. So I have done a little bit of writing work here and there. I have done all these odd jobs to sort of supplement my income. Even after doing all that, the income was not much, but somehow...
For the love of acting, you have...
For the love of... I don't know, you know, what happens, these are very loaded words, you know, love, commitment, dedication and all that. So I don't want to romanticize the whole thing also. It's not like that. It's just that this is what I wanted to do. It's a selfish choice also, na? You don't think about your family, you don't think about the people you want to support. You just think about your happiness, what you want to do. So I wanted to do theatre. So whatever enabled me to do theatre and continue doing theatre, I kept on doing that. It's only the last 2 years and everything I realized a little late in my life. I guess I'm a little slow in my brain maybe. At my age, it's not cute to not have money, you know, anymore. I mean, when you're in your 20s, it's slightly rebellious, slightly anti-establishment, and maybe in some people's eyes slightly sexy to not have money. But when you're my age and your son is growing up, your mother is getting old, your wife sort of expecting a certain amount of support from you in terms of... So at that point of time, I think it is important to earn money. I think it is important to earn money even earlier, but it did not dawn on me, I guess. But there are those that पिछले 2 साल से मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. I'm on the ball now. Anybody asks me for something, I consider it at least. Whether I end up doing it or not is a different issue. Yeah.
You're a very good actor and you'll get a lot of work. And
thank you so much.
And
Thank you so much.
all the best to you. And
Thank you.
thanks for giving your time to Cinema Satsang.
Not at all. Cinema Satsang
We are honored to have you.
This new endeavor that you have started. So all my best wishes to you for this.
Thank you. We should chat more in the future, near future,
sure,
because
sure.
I think I learn a lot from you. And
Likewise. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Cinema Satsang is this new endeavor which does not talk about gossip. What it talks about is the art of cinema. So please like, share and subscribe to Cinema Satsang for many such interviews and other programs. Please look out for it.